Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Josh. I am a 29-year-old certified financial planner, and I run my own financial planning firm. On this channel, I provide insights into personal finance and more often, providing insights for advisors because it seems that's what people actually want to watch from me. Anyways, today, I want to talk about a major idea around advisor growth and marketing that I wish I knew from the beginning. But hey, some things just, I guess, take 10 years to learn. Now, I like to draw, so let's draw this one out here. So what we have when we're starting out in any business is we are likely in this position where we have some sort of personal burn rate in our own lives that we need to meet in order to kind of like survive, right? And so maybe that starts up here, and over time, maybe it increases a little as inflation hits, as there's other things in life that we want, as more things come about. So our burn rate's gonna kind of go up over time. Now, whether you're a financial planner or advisor like me, building your own thing, or you're just running any business at all, most businesses in the early days are gonna have extremely volatile income, but over time, it slowly starts to move up and to the right. We can see that there's these little blips every now and then where we actually surpass our burn rate, but most of the time we're underneath it, and we're just trying to survive long enough to where we meet this crossover point, where all of a sudden the amount of money that we are making has surpassed our burn, and everything here is kind of like gravy now, right? Now, most of the time in the early days, these deficits are going to accumulate probably as debt or as drawing into savings or maybe some kind of retained earnings that you already had in order to survive to get to the point where you can find yourself in this beautiful, profitable position where your business is earning more than you need to survive. And now we're kind of in the clear because it's growing over and above that all the time. But the really challenging period, as we all know, is this period here, where we're just accumulating debt and accumulating debt and accumulating debt, or withdrawing from savings, withdrawing from cash to kind of make this thing happen. Now, for me, in my personal experience, here's something that I did that I wish I could go back and tell my younger self to do differently. I had these marketing tactics, whether it was dealing with things like my warm market or using content marketing or just developing word of mouth, networking, all these sorts of things we do to try to create this initial business. And they were working about as well as they could have worked for a 19-year-old entering the business. And that alone, with this trajectory, was starting to give me hope that I would one day surpass that line and be on the gravy train, right? Now, something unique that happened to me and likely happens to many of you is I was surrounded by very high performing friends, and I wanted to be in that club too. I saw them buying all the cool stuff, having this great lifestyle. Here I am starting my business. What's the point of starting your own business if you can't ultimately do what you want one day? I thought, and maybe I was just justifying it, but that if I spent more and increased my lifestyle, I dressed better, got a nicer car, raising people's perception of me, would it be helpful for the business? It would infer that I was worth working with, because who wants to work with a failure? You want to work with someone that's successful, right? And so what happened for me is after a year or two of grinding tirelessly, I got to this point where I surpassed that line, where now the recurring revenue in the business surpassed my burn rate. And what did I do? Well, what I did is I decided, why not kind of reinvest in my image? Why not make my lifestyle better? Everyone around me is doing that. So my burn actually started to go like this. And I just continually increased my burn rate along with the rate of growth in the business for multiple years. And so in other words, I took every opportunity for reinvestment. This whole area here is opportunity for reinvestment, and I plunged it into lifestyle creep. And as this would grow, I would start dining at nicer restaurants. I started buying nicer cars. I would get nicer clothes. I would start participating in a whole plethora of stupid, meaningless social status games to raise my position, to make myself more desirable to work with. Now, here is what I should have done. Every dollar over and above this threshold should have gone towards eliminating constraints. And by the way, before I dive into the solution, I need to tell you about something that's actually urgent. The Haven Advisor Accelerator is a place where up-and-coming advisors can go to learn exactly how I built my dream financial advice business. There's 20 plus modules detailing exactly how I did what I did, and there's also a community of people wanting to do the same. So we hop on bi-weekly calls and we discuss what's working and how to build our dream businesses. And so on Friday, January 10th, which is one day from now at 11:59 p.m., I'm going to be increasing the price on that from $67 a month to $97 per month. So if that sounds interesting to you, go grab your spot before the prices go go up. You can always cancel it later if it doesn't end up being right for you, but the price won't be going back down. So go grab your spot. Back to the video. So here's what I wish I would have done. The moment that you get recurring revenue above mere subsistence, that is when you have this once in a lifetime opportunity to commit to reinvestment in a better client experience, into more effective growth, into more effective systems in your business. And that is what I want to show you now, because once I did this, that is when my business started to boom. So here's what I wish I would have done. I wish I would have asked myself this question. If I could narrow it down to one thing, what is the one thing standing between me and 3xing the size of my business this year? What is the one thing? Is it the lack of new prospects, right? For most new advisors early in their careers, this is probably the major constraint. Is it that the service you're offering isn't that compelling? And I think this is what new advisors should actually probably be thinking about instead of getting new leads. But anyways, is your client experience lacking, resulting in higher than optimal attrition or client turnover? Are the results you're getting for clients not good enough? Whatever it may be, your job from a strategic perspective has to at some point change from survival to then, once we have more recurring revenue than personal burn rate, our strategic role becomes accurately defining constraints and learning how, or paying to overcome them. So you could get out a piece of paper and write down, what is preventing me from 3xing my business over the next year? Is it the lack of new prospects or clients? Then use these excess funds to invest in content production, into better lead magnets, into funnel building, into paid advertising spend, maybe hire a marketing associate, okay? If the constraint is not having a compelling offer for people, then reinvest money and time into doing market research and finding out what your target market actually wants or finds valuable. Invest money in whatever is needed to build out a solution to that problem. If the constraint is client experience, then find out where you're lacking and invest in the resources to make it better. Maybe it's investing in better communication tools or technology, or maybe it's building out better proposals, or maybe it's getting a communications coach, someone to tell you how to talk to people more effectively. If the constraint is how much time you have to spend per client, then maybe invest in technology or in automation or in staff or anything to shrink that time requirement. So in summary, do not do what I did. Do not allow your lifestyle to inflate as your business starts to become more successful and have more recurring revenue. You have to define what your burn rate is and keep it there. Then do everything you're currently doing to surpass that burn rate in a recurring way. Once we've surpassed it, that's the point of this video, is you need to make a mental shift from being in survival mode to being someone who accurately defines what the root constraint is in your business, and you become a capital allocator. Where do I take this excess energy and money and time and reinvest it into solving that constraint? Once you start doing this, your business will actually feel like it's being propelled. At least that's how it was for me. And every month, every quarter, every year, your business will grow. The service you offer gets better. You get more and more efficient at delivering it. And so anyways, that's something I really felt I wanted to get across to people like you who are getting started in your own service-based business, building a financial advisory practice, whatever it might be. So hopefully you got some value from this. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.